growing interest in apartment living here in Columbus and a growing number of new apartment complexes being built.
But whether you're moving in or you're moving out, there are steps that renters need to take to protect themselves to avoid disputes with a landlord down the road.
Tonight, NBC4 Investigates reporter Ted Hart has uncovered a pattern of complaints from tenants about excessive move-out charges and abusive collections efforts.
Colleen, Ardent Property Management has about 3,500 apartments in greater Columbus area. They offer move-in incentives and competitive rents to get new tenants in the door. But some of the company's practices have been the subject of complaints with the Ohio Attorney General's office and the Better Business Bureau, and we've received complaints from former tenants about the way they were treated when they moved out. Tonight, we're getting you answers. Jeff Harris and his roommate made notes about problems on the inspection forms when they moved into their North Park Place apartment near Polaris in July of 2011.
Right. What does it say there about apartment? Miscellaneous stains and burns throughout the apartment.
And Harris says he had to call maintenance right away because neither the refrigerator nor the air conditioner were working. They lived in an apartment similar to this Ardent complex. Harris says that maintenance did get the AC and the refrigerator working, but that he and his roommate complained a number of times about the condition of the carpet. And when they moved out a year and a half later, they were stunned when the apartment complex charged them to replace the carpet and to replace the refrigerator, a $1,600 bill. They tried to dispute the bill, asked for more documentation, and ended up on the phone with someone in the company's collections department.
He was very inappropriate, very antagonistic, almost like he wanted me to go to court with him. I mean, that's what it seems like he was driving. He asked me a couple times to go to court with him.
Harris and his roommate recorded several of the conversations.
I hear people all the time tell me that it's in their rights and that it's in the law, but it's funny. None of them can seem to find where the law says that they got rights like that. So you go ahead, you find it, you sue us, you take this recording with you, you play it back to the judge. You're going to find out that none of it is going to mean that you don't owe this money.
Harris's problem is not an isolated one. The Better Business Bureau has received similar complaints about Ardent, which is not a BBB member.
Really a common theme where they're charging excessive amounts for minor damages or asking for carpet to be replaced when there's minor damages, and then not being able to work through that complaint.
Not being able to work through the complaint is a nice way to describe what some tenants say have been abusive telephone calls from the company's collections department. Some have even posted recordings of the calls online.
Put your money where your mouth is and sue us. Or pay the money. I don't care which one.
We're hoping that it doesn't have to take legal action. Excuse me.
That's simple.
Can you answer?
Money, shut up and listen.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Excuse me, sir.
Coughlin says Ardent's BBB rating recently dropped to an F due to the number of overall complaints and a number of unresolved complaints from tenants. She said the BBB uses a set of 8 standards to evaluate businesses.
One of them is embody integrity, and that means treating people with respect. And in this case, that isn't happening, and that's been a common theme.
Jeff Harris says hiring an attorney to fight would cost him more than the $1,600 move-out charges.
It almost seems like extortion, you know? We're just going to tack on $1,500 to their move-out, charges, and they're not going to go to court with us, and that's what they want.
The president of Ardent, Sidney Noblet, declined an on-camera interview but told us by phone that the company has a right to get an apartment back in reasonably the same condition, adding that they only charge for items in excess of ordinary wear and tear. And when asked about the tone of the recorded phone calls, Noblet said, "I'm not going to defend that. We've had discussions about it." But he also said, in some cases, people become unreasonable. I can't, because people disagree with us, say, "Okay, you don't have to pay." And after addressing a number of the complaints in the last few days, the company's BBB rating was bumped back up to a C- today. Now, to protect themselves, renters should take pictures during a walk-through inspection before they move in. Keep your rent receipts. Leave the apartment in the condition that you found it or better, and walk through with the landlord when you move out, and again, take pictures and notes. And we have experts on hand here tonight from the Better Business Bureau and the Legal Aid Society to answer any questions that you might have about a landlord-tenant situation. So give us a call at 821-4444.
And that is a pretty common complaint, having those landlord-tenant problems, and they're so difficult to resolve without spending a lot of money.
We both have had kids that have lived in apartments and left apartments, and usually have to pay something, or they get an assist from somebody.
Yes, but you put the security deposit down, and it's like you're never going to see it.
Very tough. Yeah, you got to know that going.
No matter what.
Hey, Jim. You know, now we're going to turn our complaint.
Yeah, now we can complain to you.
3 weeks of